Finish up these 10.4 notes. The next section is actually pretty similar to the last one. What you're going to see is I'm going to be giving you just a little bit of information, and I'm not giving you the picture of the triangle. I'm going to say the measure of angle A is 72 degrees, and the side length C is 10 degrees. And what we're going to do is we are going to draw the triangle and then solve it. So where do I want to draw the triangle? I'll draw mine up here. So you're just going to draw your triangle. It's not going to be perfect, but you're going to get kind of the right idea of what it is. You're going to label your sides A, B, and C. The only important one is that you label your right angle, angle C. The rest of them can just be A and B. Then you're going to label what you know. So I know that angle A is 72 degrees, and side length C, which is across from C, is 10. And now this problem is exactly like the ones that we were doing before. I'm going to fill in what I know. So I know A is 72 degrees, I know C is 90 degrees, and then I know side length C is 10. And then I'm going to find all my missing parts. So let's start with finishing up our angles. Angles I think are easier, but that's just my preference. Take 180 minus the two angles that we have. We get 18. So angle B is 18 degrees. Then we'll go ahead and start solving for missing sides. So I'm going to go ahead and solve for side length A, which is across from A first. I'll put a little A there. To do that, I need to label my sides opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. And we're using my 72 degrees as the theta, of course. So opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. So I'm going to use the hypotenuse side length, and I'm going to use the opposite because I want to know what that one is.
They didn't clean the Coke spill? I came in and looked and I couldn't spot it.
No, it was in the back, but I think it's...
Because I figured all of this was probably them getting back to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we were just checking in because they didn't send it back to Dave that they got it.
Yeah, thank you. All right, sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to use the opposite and the hypotenuse, which is the sine. So the sine of 72 degrees is equal to the opposite. So I'm going to just put the A there over the hypotenuse. You guys might have an X instead of the A. Either way will work. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by 10. So 10 sine of 72 is equal to A. Since the A, or your X maybe, is by itself, I just type that into my calculator. And the A is equal to 9.5. Go ahead and fill that in up here. And then I just have one more missing piece. I've got to solve for B. I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So 90.25 plus B squared is equal to 100. 100 minus 90.25, get 9.75. Take the square root of that, and we get 3.1. So my B value is 3.1. Now, I'm actually not going to go through example B because the only different thing is that you have to draw the triangle, and then it's the same as all the rest of the problems we've been doing. So let's look down at example C, so we can do an example where we're given two sides, and we'll practice drawing the triangle and finding all the missing pieces. So you're going to start, the triangle that you start with should always be a right triangle. The right angle should be C, and then you just kind of label the other ones with whatever you want, A and B. If you want to put the little A, the little B, and the little C on your sides, that might help as well. It will definitely help you make sure that you get these numbers in the right spot. The lowercase b is 4, and the lowercase c is 9. So that's what I'm starting with, and then I have to find all the other pieces. So I'm going to start by filling in what I know. I know angle C is 90 degrees, side length C is 9, side length B is 4. And then I've got to find everything that I'm missing. I'll start with angle A. So I'm going to put my theta here in angle A. I'm going to label my sides opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. And since I know the hypotenuse and I know the adjacent, I will use those. So the cosine of theta is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. I chose the cosine, remember, because I'm using the adjacent and the hypotenuse. And then the inverse sine of 4/9, that's going to be my theta value. Grab out my calculator, and my theta is equal to 63.6. That is my A value. Okay. Now to find B, I know two of the angles, I just need to know the third, so I'm going to subtract the angles that I do know from 180, and I get 26.4. So angle B is 26.4 degrees. And then finally I need to solve for side length A. I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So A squared plus 16. I don't know why I wrote 9 to the 6th there. I'm sorry. So A squared plus 16 equals 81. Bring the 16 to the other side. A squared is equal to 65. Take the square root. And my A is equal to 8.1. So that would be how I finish solving that triangle. Now you can finish your homework. Numbers 5 and 6 are just like what we just barely did. And then you've got a few story problems. So on your story problems, just make sure you draw a really good picture, and then you figure out what you're looking for.